Let's go to the next turn where we can see what happens. Sorry, this is just a better view of what's happened over here. The chariots on the left-hand side have just moved around. The scorpion's moving into position. I've only got 2 guys left in that other archer unit because they've been depleted by a crossbow, by a big firefight across the battlefield there. And I'm getting ready to charge next turn. The Dreadlord has joined the unit of spearmen in the middle there. I've got these casket of skulls. This casket of souls went off, by the way. Actually did a fair bit of damage the first time it went off. Killed a cold one night and wounded some repeater bolt throw crew and so forth. But it hasn't done anything game-winning. It's just been looking cool and really scaring my opponent. Anyway, this is the same turn, by the way. So the archers are about to get destroyed there by the Blackguard, and the chariots are deployed over the left. Next picture. So what happens here is that the Blackguard overrun into the melee skeletons here on their flank. Should point out, by the way, that he's actually using these metallic sheet bases, which are really handy. I've got to get some of those myself because my guys always just fall over in the car when I'm transporting them. But this opens me up to charge his Blackguard in the flank, just clipping them on the edge with the unit of Tomb Guard. But I'm going to be in danger from his group of spearmen, so we'll see how that goes shortly. And there's his Cold One Knights getting ready to attack me over the far side. So things looking very precarious for Tomb Kings. I've had some fantastic luck in my first couple of turns, but that's luck which hasn't really influenced the core of the game, and the core of the game of these combats right in the center of the field. Let's go to the next turn. So what happens here? The Tomb Prince moves forward, uses some magic, charges into the spearmen. So we've got mass impact hits going off on the spearmen. The king clips on the side, uses his magic phase to move through the ranks. So the king's in combat with a Blackguard. Blackguard, of course, are in the flank of the melee skeletons over the far side. Now, the Tomb Guard unit has the icon, the banner of Undying Legion, so they get D6 guys back at a power level 3 spell on the magic phase. And the skeletons on foot have a war banner. Don't ask me why I gave them a war banner, I just had some spare points. I'm not taking the cavalry unit this game, I just chucked it on them. And over the far side, the chariots have charged the Cold One Knights. Now, crucially, very crucially, they have a banner of the Cursing Wound there. So all the knights have to take a leadership test or a wound with no armor save, so that's very handy there. I think the Harpies tried charging somebody, but they failed a leadership test or something like that, which sucks to be them. Otherwise, straight into the combat, and we'll see how it goes. Let's take a look at this photo here, and I'll just explain what happens. The chariots charging the spearmen in the background, what happens to them is that, just go over this other picture too so you can sort of see a little bit more detail what's going on over here. Charges them, of course, this mass impact hits. I get a couple of wounds with my guys, then he attacks back with his Dreadlord, pretty much evens things up, and I don't win the combat, so I'm pretty much screwed over there. I was really hoping to wipe him out with the charge, but man, Dark Elves, really tough, especially with hatred. It's a real problem. And over the main combat with the Tomb King killed a guy or two, but because the Blackguard were just thrashing the skeletons in front of them, of course, I kind of made a mistake here by just clipping them. I've got better static combat res than he does, but he's really beating me in combat because he's just getting so much combat res out of skeleton kills, and it's really fucking me over, which is very unfortunate. And over the far side, amazingly, miraculously, the chariots charge down the Cold One Knights. He rolls an abundance of 1s and 2s for his armor saves against impact hits, and they get steamrolled, so I overrun them. Out of range of the Shades, so he can't even charge for the Shades, so fantastic luck there from the Tomb Kings, yet again, just holding on by the skin of my teeth to this game, but still the Dark Elves are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Also moving the Scorpion in here to get the charge in, but he scrolled some of my magic, preventing me from getting the charge in the back at the Blackguard there. Let's go to the next picture. What you're seeing here is the Harpies flying in, getting ready to charge the catapult crew. The Hierophant is actually among the catapult crew, so I'm going to have to back him up to the Casks of Souls and join the crew there. And there's a couple of Tomb Guards standing out the back there. That's just casualties that were removed from the previous combat. But the Harpy is looking to get in and getting in amongst the trouble. Over here, you've got the Shades just moving in, but they weren't able to get into range of the chariots here, so they're just moving in to shoot. In the background, the Scorpion is still slogging away against those repeater crossbowmen on the hill, not really gaining any ground. He's losing wounds and he's killing some of them, but he's still not managing to do the job. So, finally, let's move right around to getting close to sort of turn 4 and turn 5. What's happened here is the chariots have been wiped out by the Dreadlord's unit because the Tomb Prince just didn't cut it in combat, and after that I failed to charge, or failed to destroy him with a charge. I just had nothing left, and the Dreadlord just trashed me. The melee skeletons have been wiped out by the Blackguard. The Blackguard have reformed around. The King is just in desperate combat with them, but the losing guys left, right. The Scorpions come around thanks to some magic and charge the Harpies, just chase them off the board. A single chariot left out in the open there. He's been damaged by repeater bolt throwers blasting him. But things actually starting to look very bad for the Tomb Kings, despite fantastic luck. Taking out the Hydra, avoiding the Shades, taking out the Cold War Knights, beating guys up left and right, getting the Scorpion off, taking out the Dreadlord's chariot. I'm still getting murdered in the center because of the Blackguard and me underestimating them. So things going very badly here. And what you're seeing here is just pretty much one of the final photos of the game. His spearmen charged the Tomb King's unit. He's already in combat with the Blackguard there. Everybody attacks. He beat me massively in combat res. I got a couple of kills with the Tomb King, but I just didn't have anything left in terms of combat res, and he just annihilated me. Tomb King and everything just got removed from the board, and that's when I conceded the game. You can see a last picture here, which sort of shows where he's headed next. I mean, his units will just overrun, well, the Spearmen will anyway. The Spearmen will overrun through the Tomb Guard, charge the Casket of Souls or the Catapult next turn, and that's it. So I pretty much gave up here. He's just like one last photo of me removing all my guys. Man, but it was a really entertaining game. Didn't quite expect to win when I was looking at it, but I did sort of think that I was winning after I got rid of the Hydra and all of those other little lucky bonuses. But, deploying those archers badly in the center there and underrating his Blackguard unit, I really just got face planted. So nothing bitter about this game. I really enjoyed it. My opponent was a really sporting guy. Can't wait to play him again. Dark Elves, very, very powerful army. He had some really nasty choices in it. I took a fairly decently strong Tomb King's army. I could have taken a better Tomb King's army, but I didn't. I was a little bit restrained. But still got outplayed in the center there. Just got beaten in combat mercilessly by the Dark Elves, and that's what happens. Well, thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed this report. Got another one coming up for you tomorrow, probably against Bretonnians. See you then.